Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Our first guest of 2020, Little Mo.
Happy New Year.
Little Mo, happy new decade.
Happy New
Yes,
Year.
I made it.
No, well, we are very happy to see you.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot going on this past year that we had no idea, because I look at you as such a strong woman.
Yeah.
And I see you all the time, and you're very vocal about things.
Yeah.
So I think it was a shock to a lot of people that when you were very honest about kicking this opioid addiction.
Yeah.
And also having to get out of a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Because y'all know I came here last year. So this time last year I was here promoting marriage boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I was with my now ex. But
Did y'all get married?
Yeah, we were really
So
married.
you were with your husband at the time?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're not saying his name or?
I mean, I can, but I don't give free shout outs. And with that, it's just because like we have no communication, no nothing. I have a PFA and a PFA is protection from abuse in the state of Pennsylvania. So saying his name isn't gonna give him. I don't want to give him any type of power or leeway over me anymore.
But what
That's
happened?
so
'Cause
But
y'all
even when
together
we was
for
here
so
last
long.
year, we wasn't together.
Really?
But it was just like we had to promote the show.
So y'all had issues
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So what
And-
happened?
That's
What happened? Because I mean, I've known you for years, and y'all came to my
Everybody
house,
like, I
y'all was
don't
swimming
even
in my
know.
pool. And
Before we came to your house with the kids, we was fighting at the mall. And he kept on saying, I'm not going. I said, well, I'm going, and we're going to take these kids because I love being around y'all. Y'all are family. And I was just like, nah, we going. And he was trying to give me some stress about that. But
Why he didn't want to go to Envy House?
it wasn't, I don't know. He just stupid.
Yeah. Tired of seeing Envy flex on Instagram. Should have put pressure on the
Carl
nigga.
and Mo were family. They came to all my stuff. They supported me,
It
whatever
was
I did.
show up to everything, but it was
Yeah.
just like, honestly, anytime it became something with family or I don't know, it's just like, nah, I ain't going. Or if I really wanted to do something to go somewhere, it was like that resistance was there. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. I guess it's like hard to explain. Now that looking back, it's like a jealousy thing. It's like a
You think things
I just
weren't
said
happening for him the way that he wanted them to, so he felt like you were making all these moves and
I put him in position that he should have been bigger than what he was.
right.
The reason being is because, like, even with him being a boxer, I know like everybody. So I'm just like, why are you not where Javante is? And I know I did his first interview. I've known them since they were little. So to see them come, I'm like, yo, bro, you at 19 and all, whatever it is. And he's like right behind you. Don't let these niggas pass you. And he let everybody pass them. I'm not coming in last place for nobody.
Right.
And so I
Well, Mo,
moved
let
to
me push
Philly.
back a little bit. Don't you think you could have been a little bit more supportive as opposed to
I was
saying,
way too
why is this
supportive.
person past you? Like, why not? How can we get to
Sometimes
this level?
people only respond to because of the environment that he's from. If I try to say, hey babe, maybe you should, that ain't gonna work. That's the reason why he was doing what he was doing to me anyway.
Which was what?
That nigga spit on me. That nigga used to call me all type, fuck you, stupid bitch. Like, and it's one thing to say that when you having sex or whatever, but it's one thing when you mean that shit, your kids is there.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So what was the last straw? What was the thing that said, you know what, this is enough?
Yeah, when he spit on me. That was August 26th. Actually, we came here after that, but the last straw when I left for good was in March of 2019. My kids had just went to school, so it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And he just started wilding, and I was like, I think you high, you drunk, or like you wild. And I know you was with a bitch. You don't even have to tell me. She don't have to leave no perfume or hair on you. I can feel your spirit, my nigga.
Right,
Mo
and
so,
they were-
you know
they
why
were-
Mo so hood? Because
Why?
I'm laughing when Mo said he spit on me, he called me all type of names. It's cool when you're having sex, but you know when you
And she looked at me and said that.
It's cool
I was
when you're
like,
having
No,
sex.
because when you think he spit on me, people be like, oh, that's what I meant to. That's my twist.
Yeah, some
Nobody
people
thought
like that.
Mo.
I did not think that when you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I didn't need that
I mean, it was
explanation.
asses all on the kitchen table. So I didn't know what the fuck was
When
going
that's
on.
Charlamagne's ass, Charlamagne gave me his ass as a Christmas gift.
Yes.
Oh, I touched the balls.
Okay.
All good.
I was like, I thought it was a joke, but I was like, no, that's really the mold of his ass. But
Yep.
anyway,
Right.
it was like the last straw. It was like once my kids went to school, and I know they could tell stuff was going on. You could feel the toxicity, and I didn't used to hate going home, and I knew the amount of opioids that I was taking just to start my day. I was just like, nah, this not me.
So those two things really went hand in hand. That
Yeah, then I
relationship
woke up
and
that
the
morning. It was
opioids.
like, once it was like 10 o'clock, like we just was, I can't fight him because he's a professional boxer.
He's a
That
boxer,
nigga
correct.
fight his ass. So
Yeah,
he could punch
yeah,
you
yeah.
with 5 pounds of pressure, you be sleep. So all I remember was he told me he was acting like he was gonna spit on me again. I said, yo, we not doing that. Like, I will fuck you up in this house. And I knew as long as I was on the first level, somebody under us could hear us because we had a condo in Philly. And surely enough, somebody said this disturbance going on upstairs. And my father-in-law at the time kept on saying, Cynthia, just calm down. I was like, why do I always have to be the one that calm down? He come in anytime he want, do whatever he want. I'm not like I say in the fucking setup play. No, I'm not calming down.
Right.
Enough is a fucking enough. And so the nigga was like, I'll blow your fucking head off. I'll throw you over this balcony. I'll kill your dad. So I was just like, you know what? I was acting like I was gonna call somebody, and he grabbed my phone, threw it at the wall, and went and punched the wall. And I was just like, yo, if I could get this door open, I'm out. And I ran. And my manager, who was my manager, he's my manager now. His name is Wu. He was on house arrest. So I ran to his house. I said, because I know ain't nobody.
He home.
Yeah, he home. And I know ain't nobody going to pull up. First of all, you don't know where he's hiding at. And you not going to pull up on him.
Right.
And surely enough, that's who saved my life. I ran over there just like with a T-shirt on. I was looking crazy. I was like, you got to help me. He was like, what are they doing to you over there?
Where were the kids?
School.
They were at school, yeah.
Yeah, and this was in March, so they had April, May, June. I took them out. I didn't let them go to, I think their last day of school was like June 3rd. I purposely kept them out the day before and then took them to Maryland, and they've been happy ever since.
I feel so bad because, like, you know, I met Dynamite and he seemed like such a cool dude. So it's like there's something else going on with him. Like, you mentioned drugs. Like, what is it? Mental
I believe it's
health
drugs,
issues? Like, what is
mental,
it?
and it's things. I think that he's fighting some demons that I honestly tried to help him fight.
Right.
But when you realize that that's what those are assigned to him, and he has to want to do better. Like, even with me, I would wake up, I would take like a Percocet 30, maybe a 10. I was Adderall, like all this stuff.
All
Tramadol.
that stuff?
Yeah.
You
This was
can't
stuff my
risk
dad-
your own life trying to save somebody else's.
But I
too.
wasn't, you know what's crazy
That's
was?
really what it is.
And I figured that out at the end. But I was just like, yo, like, this is expensive, and it don't make you feel no better, because then once that high wears off, you try to find that high again, and you try to get higher. But I was just like, I thought I was cool because I call myself, I was like a functional addict, because I could wake up, take a pill. But I was like, oh, I got all my teeth, and I don't look like I didn't look
You look
like
like a
that. I didn't
crackhead,
have that
no one
gray,
would think
yeah,
that.
that gray skin, you know. I ain't look like, hey, y'all. Like, I was still able to perform and stuff like that, but I knew my soul, whew, it was like I was a dead woman walking.
Did you say that he actually did punch you?
He would never hit me in my face, but yeah.
What you mean? Punched you where then?
But not in the
He
face.
he do like this.
Punch in
He'll
the
do like
stomach,
Bob.
chest.
And what happened was, one time my phone called, my phone called Gilbert Arenas. And he was like, sis, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm cool. It just so happened that same night, Dynamite had got arrested for an outstanding warrant in Jersey. But my dumb ass was like, well, I'm going to just sit up here. How much it cost for you to get out? It was a $400 ticket you ain't pay. Well, can I just pay it so we could go home? Because I don't want to ride back to Philly for myself. So I was always bailing him out of everything. I was always saving him when he was falling down, but nobody was saving me.
Where did
So
you
how
get the
long
drugs
is this?
from?
Okay.
Where did you get the drugs from?
First, well, because I had 5 C-sections, so I always would have access to
Painkillers,
certain things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, after a while, once I was in Philly, you get them shits on the street. But when it's supposed to be like a secret, but motherfuckers start telling me, I'm like, well, bitch, I just kept your lights on. You just got a call because I know how much I was spending. So once motherfuckers started talking and doing that, I was just like, oh,
They
man.
started saying like a little
Yeah, just
more
like, yeah, more
perk
dead here. But then one of my it's my brother, he was like, he was here and everybody was just like, yeah, Mo and them be over here. And it was like I was becoming a regular down North Philly. It's just like, well, bitches ain't gonna come see you perform if they could see you down fucking Allegheny or somewhere. You feel me? So that's why when I did the show this weekend in Philly, I was just like, y'all see, they fucking with me, right? The whole place was sold out and they showed me love. Had that been last year, nobody might have not have showed up, because it was just like, we'll see this bitch around the way.
Yeah.
Like, I was frequenting too many bars, too many lounges, just trying to find something to do. And then when it got to the point where people were coming up to me, this girl was like, she used to play on the internet and be like saying stuff like, yeah, I'm pregnant by your husband. I was like, well, bitch, that's on you, because I'm going to take care of mine, but you about to be a single mother of the year, because that motherfucker's not going to take care of it. So we was at this bar in Philly on South Street. She all snuck over to our VIP section, was just like dancing. He was like, nah, short, you got to go. I was like, who is that? He was like, that's the chick that was saying she pregnant by me. Yeah, she got to go. What? I'll fuck you and your bitch up. And then something, I was like, bitch, I'll blow your whole fucking head off. When I start acting like that in public, and motherfucker camera phones could be out and stuff like that, I was just like, you know what?
This not me.
This not me. This not me.
How did you kick the addiction? Because, you know, I've heard so many artists tell me that lately. Meek was telling me he was on 10 perks a day. I've heard
That shit is
Timberland talk
real.
about his oxy addiction? Like, how did you kick your habit? Or
My
have you?
manager, Woo, he took me to my mother's house. He was like, I'm gonna take you away from society, and literally locked me in the basement and said, you're not coming out until you clean. So that whole process, it's not even about getting clean, because the temptation be still there. You be like, yo, if I do this, then I could get through the day. Because I wasn't one of the people that would do it and just be moping around. Like, I'll bleach the whole house. Like, I had shit to do. So I'm like, this will help me get through my day. But that's the wrong way of thinking. But literally, the, what is it called? When your body goes, what's that called?
Withdrawal, right.
Nigga. It felt like my soul left my body, and I felt that God had forsaken me. I was just like, just please give me something, because usually people sub out. That's when you take Suboxone or Sublocor, whatever it is, and you sub out. But people get addicted to the Suboxone.
Right.
So I was just like, you know what? I told him, I was like, I'm tired. Because we'd be in the studio. He was like, yo, look at you. You think that's Liddy? You up here nodding off. But I'm like, we in Baltimore. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm sitting here like this. I was like, I'm really tired. But he was like, no, you look crazy. He said, I'm going to take you away from society for a while. You need to fall back. You need to be missed. So I was going to things here and there, but it was just like, I went through a whole withdrawal, depression, like this. And I told him, I was just like, I just want to die at this point. I said, make sure my kids is good.
Damn.
But then, like, a couple of weeks later, because I couldn't eat, I was like vomit up. It's like, it gets to the point your body is craving the opioid, but I couldn't hold nothing on my stomach. So I was like, maybe I should go to the hospital. He was like, nah. They put me in a cold shower. And I was like, oh my God, it just felt like death. Fuck. I don't know why the fuck I allowed myself to go through that.
Did that relationship start off violent, or did that something that happened later on?
What's crazy is it did, but it wasn't with me at first. It was just like, you know how like niggas be capping and be like, I ain't gonna let nobody run up, pull up. But he has other children's mothers. And I've never had a conversation with any of them in my life. Like, one I met at his mom's house and stuff like that, but never was just like, yeah, let's get the kids together. So what's crazy was his baby mother would post stuff and be like, yeah, I've never seen a girl want somebody else's kid more than the own mother. I was like, bitch, I got 5 kids. Ain't nobody think about you. Like, sis, like, this shit is real. But after she found out that we broke up, she literally contacted me and was just like, I'm so proud of you. Because she was like, I know personally what you was going through. And then she told me, she was like, I never wanted you to think that I was crazy, but I was trying to tell you, like, this nigga not who y'all think he is.
Right.
And I was thinking it's because he's a Gemini. No disrespect to Gemini, but y'all niggas is crazy a little bit.
They got 2 sides.
They really
shout out to
did.
Kaiser.
But when people have more than 2 sides, it's just like, there's a dark side, then there's a darker side, then there's a probably like, I had to call my dad on FaceTime one time. I was like, Dad, I don't know where he's taking me, but just track my iPhone.
What your
So
dad
where
say?
was the light then? I mean, there had to be some light.
But
It
before
couldn't-
that, what did your dad say? Because I mean,
My
as
dad,
a
like
father,
I screenshot our face. My dad was like, you'll be all right, kid. So then he snapped out of it and was just like, you know, I'm just going to take you home. And so he just took me back to the house. Because one thing I always do is I'm like, I just got to call my dad, because like, I just feel with him being a pastor and stuff like that, I just feel like.
Protected.
Yeah.
So where was the light in Dynamite? With Dynamite, it had to be some light.
What you mean? Like,
Because
the
you
good part?
said he had a dark side. A dark side. It had to be something that.
The light side would be. Sania, does anybody know the light side?
Don't do that to him. That was your husband. Your
The
baby
light
father.
side would be, it's just like he was funny at times. Like, far as being a dad to our son and like the kids, like, I won't say that he was. I believe the reason why he is the way he is because he was raised on survival, not love. That's real too. Like, you have to hug your kids. You
That's
have
a
to
bar.
tell them you love them. You have to be in their life. You have to go to their school. You have to support your children. So as hectic as everyone's life is, you have to do that. Now we have FaceTime and we have so much. There's no excuse.
Right.
So it's just like, and then my daughter was like, he be posting on social media. So, well, the reason why I'm this way is because my dad, like, that's what I saw. And I'm just like, I've never seen my parents. I've saw them like, matter of fact, they didn't do that in front of us. I've never seen my parents argue. I've never heard my dad curse. I've never seen my mom try to fight my dad. I've never seen, like, it's certain things I've never seen. So when I started accepting it, I was like, nah, what the fuck going on? Nah, this is not right.
Right.
And I knew it wasn't, but I was so embarrassed because that's why I have the Jezebel experience. I was like, my dad's a whore for marriage, which means is that you'll just marry anybody just to be married. That shit corny.
So his
the people
father
are-
used to beat on his mom.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
So he was like, his dad was, absent, and his mom didn't let them see the dad. Then she had a boy. It was all this stuff. But the stories that I was getting, like how they basically lived in poverty, But a lot of people that usually live beneath whatever the standard is, they want to grow up and be the best. Like, look at everybody who's like, yo, I was impoverished. Like, I remember we used to have to wear each other clothes and sneakers, and you use that to fuel your future. But he was using that to fund these bitches. Like, when I found out that nigga was paying bitches rent, fuck you mean? But you're not even helping with ours?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
When's
And
the
that's
last time you spoke? Have y'all spoke recently or no?
I haven't spoken to him since last year, like March.
So did the people around you know something was going on? Were people like, you need to leave him? Or was this something that you were dealing with and you weren't telling anyone?
I was dealing with and not telling anyone. My sister knew. My sister called me one day, and she was like, you got to snap out of it. She was like, I know, nobody can't tell you what to do, but she was like, you cannot possibly love this nigga this much. When my sister said that, I was just like, you're right. She was like, you don't see what's going on? I was like, I don't care. I didn't care. But then she was like, well, you have to love yourself enough to like at least, she was like, do you see your kids? And so that's another thing my manager did too. He was like, go be with your kids. You could take off work for a while. Go be with your kids. And one thing I could say is that was like one of the best decisions in my life, because you could see your kids all the time, but like actually being there and like, it's the best feeling in the world. That was what was missing from me. And I think trying to suppress my depression and stuff with pills, like that didn't make me feel no better. It actually made me feel worse. So you'll feel good, you'll feel a high, you'll be like, all right, that's what's up. But when that high come off and you have to deal with yourself, that's one of the hardest pills to swallow. And I think that's why I'm a naturally cool person. I'm comedic. I'm fun. I grew up around family. But I think that's why a lot of people were taking comments that I was saying in jokingly, they were taking it as being abrasive. So people like, remember last time we was here, we was talking about the girl and the boy, The girl and the boy. The guy, Queen and the,
Queen and Slim?
Not Queen and Slim.
Who you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Queen
like
Naja.
people
Queen
thought I was
Naja
really
and
trying
Clarence.
to talk crazy about her, and I was like, no. But then they were like, people was DMing me like, yo, y'all want to pull up? I'm like, nah. If y'all want to go to war, like I was on some war shit, and I was like, yo, these motherfuckers really think like shit can't get real. But I was just like, yo, Mo, you gotta chill. That's not you. Like, what would Beyonce do or something? Like, bitch, find somebody to look up to.
Were you depressed before this relationship? Like, were you dabbling with the pills before this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had
So it was
stopped.
something else before this that was causing the
It
depression.
got heavy the last 3 years in Philly.
What was it?
It was a collection of things, like between my marriage, I'm up here trying to do these shows and not only fix marriage, but like it was just like a lot going. That was like from, matter of fact, before them shows, I saw like everything that was hitting the internet. I was like, here we go again. Bitch, you done been married 3 times. Like these niggas, like what is up with your fucking spirit and soul that you keep on attracting just worse and worse? But I always be feeling like, oh, I could save this nigga.
Right.
Watch this, I'm gonna level him up. But you start leveling people up and they start thinking, I don't know who they start thinking they are, but I'm not like
You can't sacrifice yourself to level someone else up.
Not no
at all.
more.
You said a bar. What'd you say? You say survival and love. What was that bar?
Some people are raised off survival and some people are raised off love. See, if you're raised off love, you know how to survive. But if you're raised off survival, you might not know how to love.
But it sounds like when you was getting in all those relationships, you was just trying to survive too.
Facts. And you know what? It's crazy because everything that I, not hated, but that I said I wasn't going to be growing up, like I was like, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have kids. So I was thinking, oh, okay, well, this is my husband and this is my children's father, so at least they won't be bastards. But now, and I'm not going to be no single mother, but look, bitch, a single mother of 5.
Was it for protection? Because I always thought.
What's wrong with Mo, man?
It's the
Why
real.
you got it is real, but you make everything
I always
sound so
thought maybe it
comedic.
was for protection.
Huh?
Did you think it was for protection? Like you liked him because it was like you know that he always had your back, especially when you were dealing with the industry and you know when you were doing the morning show and all of your jobs had shifted. You knew somebody had your back.
But even though I was doing those things, I was driving myself from Philly to DC every day. You feel me? So it was like he wasn't protected. He was definitely there when them deposits hit. Like I realized I was the only one that worked, and I sacrificed 3 years of my life without of my daughters. Like they was like, nah, we don't want to come out there.
Right.
They didn't want to come. They was like, we don't want to leave our friends. We're in AP classes. We don't want to go out there and just be in the hood. And I was like, y'all not gonna be in the hood. We're in a gated community, but it was just like, no, they wasn't impressed. But just to see me back in my family, like around my family, is like the greatest. That's the greatest love of all.
How did you explain to your kids?
They knew it was up.
They used to see it.
My sister said, she said my kids was playing one day, and he's gonna be 8, but my son Jonah, he was like, "Hey, is that a perk?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck that, nah." It was becoming like too common and as a joke, like that's nothing to play with. And with all of these young artists that are dying from addiction, that was another thing too. Is I had a scare, like almost an overdose, and I was like, "Yo,
What happened?
What's an overdose?
When somebody sell you a fake pill,
Oh, wow.
and you just like, wait a
wow.
minute, this don't feel right.
Yeah.
Like something is wrong, and then you have to keep on trying to drink water and detox and like try to get it out your system. And all I remember was like, please God, don't let me die. And I know God probably be like, here she go again, asking me not to let her die when she did this to herself. Like
right.
it gets too redundant. Like it has to get to a point where you get sick of your own shit.
Yeah, word up.
Like, you ever be like, man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of
Absolutely.
this. Like, everybody around me prospering, you think God forsaken you. It's just like, no, you got to get in alignment for your blessing. And now look at me. Everybody swear I'm with it. Bitch, I know you have went over to the Dominican Republic and got your body done. And, bitch, I know you got some. I said, no, the fuck I didn't.
You do got a glow about you.
Thank you.
I see you talking about your glow. Like, why do you feel like you glowing now?
Because I let that toxicity, because honestly, I'm woman enough to admit that maybe he was a bad guy to me, but maybe I was the toxic one to him. Because I aided and abetted everything. When he caught the gun charge, I was right there. I was like, yo, y'all got to let him out of jail. I called the fucking jail. What time he get out? Because we got to go to Fab's birthday party.
Oh, my God.
Why y'all laughing?
Fab's
Dead
birthday
ass.
party?
Yes, he got locked up on November 17th, and we had to go to the party the year when we dressed up in the Islamic garb.
Islamic garb, right in the city.
I was like, we have to go. He got arrested.
Yeah, your outfit ready.
Yes.
Are
And they let him out.
Do you
Are you
think
guys
that-
officially divorced now, or you still have to
Yes,
go through
because
that?
and the reason why it was rapidly put through because in Maryland, cruelty is immediate grounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that your lifestyle, like you being in the industry and wanting to do stuff like go to fast parties, do you think him trying to keep up with that is what made him maybe fall back from the boxing? Maybe he wasn't focused on boxing the way he should?
I think he got addicted to the limelight. Because then we doing these shows and people's walking up to him, oh, that's a guy from Love and Hip Hop. They didn't recognize or remember him from boxing at all.
Right.
So I think that image that he had portrayed and put out there, like he just started becoming the character and the monster that I created.
Why did he stop boxing? Was it injury?
That's
I thought it
what
was
he
injury.
said. No. It was, I don't think it was just, he did injure himself, his hands one time, but that was like in 2015. But there's no excuse. There's none that I could think of. I honestly think that because he was boxing at such a young age, like they had him in the gym at 3, I believe that he got tired of it or whatever the case may be. He just didn't have the love for it no more. Since Brother Nazim had like all of them, Tiger, Rock, Bear, the whole crew, none of them don't box no more. One was in a car accident and they can't box anymore. His brother just got sentenced to 5 years. So everybody that he came up with, the Concrete Jungle, they're all gone. He was the only one left. So he felt like a loner. But I'm just like, shit, that's more money for you, my nigga. People don't think like that, but then you try to tell them like, yo, you gotta go hard. Trust me, then you should, like even Danny Garcia was like, yo, like I'll sign him to, he ain't wanna do that.
I always wonder, can boxers turn it off? Because like, you say you've been boxing since he was 3, so they raise you to be a savage, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're almost like a pit bull.
And then when they go through that training process where they don't eat that whole, man, yo, that shit lit. That shit is crazy. Like it's, everything aggravates. It's almost like going through withdrawal because you could touch, like don't touch me. You can't wear perfume around. Like everything just irks his soul. And so
You said there's a time when he just can't eat. Boxers just can't eat.
where they
Trying to make weight.
Cut weight,
Yeah. And then
You gonna choke on that fur more.
been-
You done
yeah.
pulled out so much goddamn
I'm
hair
like,
out your
yeah,
mouth.
it's like I'm eating an ass.
You got to commit.
Ain't nothing in here. Cole.
Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. No, but it just got to the point where I just had to pull myself out of every toxic situation. And I'm just like, yo, if I was the toxic one, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna own it. I'll be like, yeah, I did that. But half the time, I know me. I don't start
Right.
shit, but my endings be impeccable. So I was just like, I owe it to myself, being in the industry 20 years, to come back and put out some quality music. Like, that's all people want. Like, Mo, we miss you. And I was like, it felt like, I thought the fans was abandoning me, but it was like, people was like, yo, Mo, you really left us hanging. And I would really be going back and forth like, bitch, you don't know me. Like, I'll pull up, drop that location. Cause you be high out your mind and be like, yo, like, I would really fight a bitch because it makes you feel like you got wings. But then at the end of the day, when that high wears off, and then when you like, damn, why did I even do that? And that's the shit they want to run with. But then when I posted that how I got off opioids.
I never thought
I kept on seeing signs. You know, you drive down the highway and they always have that picture. They be like, is someone in your family or opioids? They be like this. I be like, bitch, don't nobody be like no damn this. But I kept on seeing those signs. I was like, maybe God's trying to tell me something. And I realized I was scared to post it at first because I was like, people going to be like, bitch, I knew it. I heard. And I was, just ready for the backlash. But when I say no cap, that day I had got like 10,000 DM. It was so many I couldn't even open it. So I was just like, then it started going to my emails. And people that I would least expect, like, I would click on the picture. I'd be like, I know this bitch gonna look crazy. I was like, God damn, this bitch, like, where you at, sir? Pull up. But like the people that I saw and people that have survived abusive relationships, like people was like, one girl was like, I just had a baby and this nigga beat me up. She's sending me pictures with nuts. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Right. You never know what people are going through.
And
I see you made up with Quicksilver too. You used to do mornings in DC, and that was a bad
sit down
breakup.
With Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Now, why did y'all have a nasty, I guess, breakup, and then how did y'all get back together?
I think it was just like when I first got let go at radio, because I came in that morning, they was just like, yeah, so we're gonna go a different direction. I said, but bitch, y'all could have told me that at the house. Because I drove from Philly.
I've heard that 4
bitch, I
different
could have
times.
been, and I'll just be like, bitch, you was just texting me last night, laughing out loud, like, y'all could have told me that at the house.
Yeah.
But the one thing we always said was like, when we do meetings, that we wasn't gonna be in there. I'm not doing no meeting by myself, because for real, I was like, I don't work for nobody. I was no cocky stuff. I was just like, I came and took this meeting while I was filming a show. I don't need this, but I understand, like, y'all want this shit. I already knew y'all want me to jump start it right quick and then be out of there. Because honestly, the money wasn't worth the sacrifices that I was making. Having to get up 2:00 in the morning, drive to DC, but then get back to get my kids out of school. And then if one of them gets, like, it's just that shit, like, why the fuck did I do that?
You still need to be on somebody's radio. I don't give a damn what nobody says.
Yeah, as long as I could cuss, because
Goodness gracious, Mo. You can't cuss here, Mo.
No, I know.
She already
But
has.
at the end of the
I
day,
know.
I think we parted ways because I was just like, I felt that he knew what was going on and he knew the vibe, but he ain't give me no heads up. One thing about me is I'm gonna be like, yo, shit about to hit the fan. All I know is like, because if they would have called him in there and be like, we let you go, I'd be like, well, I'm out too. Like, that's how my loyalty is, but I cut all that shit out too, because motherfuckers won't quit their job or risk it for me. Bitch, stop being everybody else's cheerleader.
You could have called me. I'd have told you out your goddamn mind you quit your job because they fired Quicksilver. What you, Envy, when we first did this job, what you put in your contract?
If y'all fire
That if they fired Charlamagne for some bullshit,
I got my job.
that's right. What the fuck is wrong with you? For loyalty, please.
Goddamn
But I
right.
was like,
This man got fired 4 times.
sheesh.
Yes.
But it was like, but it's just like, it started feeling like people wanted me to come work at radio just so they could fire me. The only person that never fired me was Thea. Like, when I did X1057 in Baltimore, like, I was just like, the label keeps calling, they need me to go back on the road. I had my baby. She was like, no problem. And we did great there. As soon as I left, the station had went back to talk radio. So between her and like other people,
Salute the coach.
yeah.
Is
Like,
that something
she
you're
knew.
still passionate about, though, radio? Would you want to go back on?
Man, I want $100 million. No, I want something so crazy, but it's just like, as long as I could do me, now that I know how to fit into the parameters of it, because it's still political.
Right.
Because people was trying to speculate, oh, she got fired because she had Chrisette Michelle. I said, you can't fire nobody because of that. And if you do that, I'm going to sue your pants off, buddy. You know what I'm saying? My lawyer eats bitches like you for breakfast. But I realized that then they was like, oh, yeah, because somebody had asked, why do you drive all the way from Philly to D.C.? And I was like, well, if we really want to go there, y'all can actually let me do the show right across the street, which is 1 mile away. I could do the show from there. We could broadcast. But then I would be doing my breaks. My shit be all chopped up. Like, people was messing up my breaks on purpose. Bitches was hating. But that wasn't Quick's fault. It was just like, motherfuckers be trying to take your place.
Right.
And so it was just like, you know what? Once that happened, I just fell back from everybody. And I was just like, you know what? I'm cool off you, bro, this and that. But then what brought us back together, my sister again, she was just like, yo, like, Quick wants to know if you okay. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then it hurt me because I'm such a fucking punk when it comes. Cause I remember one time I was leaving DC from one of his parties, and he would always have to leave late, and me and Dynamite had got into it, and I jumped out the car on the highway, and I called quick. I was like, "Can you please come get me?" And after he was done, he was like, "I'm coming." He had just got home. He was like, "I gotta go get sis." He always checked on me.
Right.
So I was just like, that was just me being stupid, like just being mad over letting people come in between us because we never let nothing come in between us before. Like, that's my real brother. Like, and then I thought about it, I was like, he lost both of his parents at a young age. So my family and his grandmother, like, that's my family for 18 years. You don't just get rid of niggas like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't just throw away family like that. And honestly, what's crazy is my manager, he gets on my nerves because he be telling me about myself. And I be like, well, why the fuck nobody never told me that before? It was like, because you act like this. But he told me he was
could you
just
even
like,
hear them back then? You was on drugs, you was in your own world. Could you even hear people were saying stuff
I
like that?
could, but I didn't care. I'd be like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. He was like, you got to stop cutting people off and just forgetting about I'll cut somebody off and be like, oh, I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but I've never seen this man a day in my life. Sorry to this man. I'll give you straight Kiki.
I'll be like, look, my life is moving in another direction.
Is that a bad thing?
No.
Okay, because I was hanging on to
I mean,
things.
it depends on what it's for.
Okay.
You know, if it's
I'm
it's
quick
warranted.
to tell somebody that we moving in another direction.
Yeah, I'd be like, sorry, like this
Absolutely.
this isn't the direction that I plan on going. So my level up now is honestly contingent upon every move I make is critical. That's why I was just like, you know what, Mo? Just stick to music, because just hitting the road and like doing Set It Off Live, like people's like, oh, I think she gonna get up there and be no.
Let's talk about Set It Off Live.
Well, before we do that, I need to know, are you really getting the help you need, Mo? Like, have you really done some real healing? Or are you just getting back to work to get your mind off everything else?
I've had some real healing.
Okay.
But it just don't take like 5 sessions.
Right.
You have to, it's a constant
So you went to
thing.
therapy and all that
Yes.
stuff? Like, okay.
But there's still more things I have to get out of my system, because it's like, what is this? January for New Year. So it's just like, I still have issues that there's still things that I deal with. Mainly, I think I need to get into anger management.
Probably.
But not even anger management. I need to get into anger reconciliation, because I need to know how to process it. Because I'll be like, no, I'm not mad. Then I'll be like, we gonna blow all that shit up. I gotta, try to figure out a way to channel my anger and process my pain and turn it into
Has your
paper.
therapist helped you get to the root of what your trauma is, though?
The root, I'm gonna tell you what the root of my trauma is. And this is what I learned in the marriage boot camp house and also. It's a lot of people don't admit it, but PTSD. And as great as I grew up, you would never think, parents been married, 40-something years, grew up in church, perfect attendance, all of this, you wouldn't know that at the age of 4 to like the age of, like I was molested. That shit, so it's like.
By a family member?
No, by somebody who went to church. My family, one thing I love about my family, and I was like, usually that, like, when you have a family that you can trust with your kids, like stuff like that, I'm so glad my family, like, we don't play the, like, don't even be walking around, like, we don't play about them kids. But it was somebody from my church, and he molested me and he molested my sister. And it was like to the point where I was just like, well, just don't molest my sister. If you're going to do, you might as well just do that to fucking me. But it's like, even with all of that, I protect men, and it's like the ones I'm protecting be the ones that fucking hurt me the most.
Right.
Yeah.
So why am I repeating this cycle? Like what is it? So I have to break that cycle. But that doesn't run in my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not how I was raised. So I was like, I think it's the music industry. Like, this some bullshit. It, like, y'all let anybody in this motherfucker? Would you just let anybody in your fucking house?
So you was the career not popping the way you wanted it to.
It's not even that. It was like, because my career could have popped as much as I wanted to, because the niggas that's in my phone and the connections I have, but it was just like, I got scared of just like, well, what else will I have to sacrifice to get to that level? And I wasn't ready to do a lot of things. Like, I'm cool with, and then I have to realize that everybody ain't your friend, Mo. Like, I was extending my hand and popping up to everything. Like, and I was just like, and then you want the same respect if people be all booked and busy or number change. I'd be like, all right, well, you got to come through Baltimore, Philly, or some part of the Eastern region. You going to see me, and I'm going to let you know, like, fuck that. Like, you owe me a oop.
You know.
Or a check.
You
want to pay in cash or with that ass?
You know what Bishop T.D.
Big
Jakes
fella?
told me? Bishop T.D. Jakes told me one time, because I got molested when I was 8, and he said
Damn.
he said that when you have been molested, you don't ever feel worthy of things, and when you get older, like
I saw that and I cried. You know why? That touched my heart. I was just like, I know I'm good enough, but I never felt appreciated or fucking worthy.
Word.
Till now.
Good. That's great.
You've gotten to worthy?
I'm right below it.
Word.
I'm to the point where I was just like, yo, niggas really love you, Mo. And people that really love you will tell you about yourself and be like, yo, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to. I think that's my Napoleon complex too. When I come to the room, my big personality. But I was like, you don't always have to be that person.
Right.
Sit the fuck down. Be missed. Fall back a little bit.
And you know you can always jump back in when you need to. Like, you have to set it off. You have the Femme Forward tour.
Yeah.
And you have all of that going on.
Where Dime at? Oh, there she go. We got the Thelma
You got the
Louise.
collab album.
Where
Dime.
Rocky at? Rocky here. She from Philly, the hottest rapper for everybody.
Come on,
Rocky,
come on,
yeah,
Mike.
like.
She stole my. I just want to tell
Y'all
you,
talking
she
about
stole
set
my
it off.
Jameson. I just want to tell you, she
Who?
stole.
Sis, it's not even 9 o'clock.
Get her a chair. Get her a chair.
Let's get her a chair.
I gotta warm up, sir.
Nigga,
Oh
what
shit! Well then I might as well have a drink. I didn't want to drink because I didn't want y'all to think I was part
I'm
of.
lit.
Nigga, what first store did y'all rob? Nick, swing the camera around.
Open up at 12
You
midnight.
see
for
Cynthia
me.
here with the stylist.
Yeah, we need our
With
first.
Thelma Louise, we robbed Daniel's Leather last night.
Banks. We robbed
When I got
Banks
in
and
town.
Daniel's Leather. You feel me?
So are these women that you have around you empowering you, Mo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you know who won't let them not empower me?
Who?
Sania and Woo.
Yeah, Sania.
Let somebody come around and be like, nah. And I'll be like, but they're my friends. They've been my friend for 60 years. They ain't no friend. And I'll be
That's
like,
what it is.
damn
Yeah,
it,
that's
man. But the empowerment part comes because, like, with how I came up, like, people don't know. They be like, well, how did you get your record deal? I was literally in Green Acres Mall and had my beeper, and Merlin Bob had them beat me and was like, Missy Elliott wants you to go on the road with her. I was like, the fuck out of here. Stop lying. Like, you don't have to lie. You don't have to do that to me. And they was like, here's her phone number. And I called her from a payphone at Green Acres Mall. I was just like, you really want me to come on to her? She was like, nigga, turn the music down. Yo, yes, you want when can you get to the city? I said, now. And I left, and that's the rest
You was
is
working or
history.
you just walking through the mall?
I used to go there and get my nails done, and I just used to always be in Green Acres. That was like from Rosedale to Rochdale to right to. It was nothing else to really do. I was scared to
Right.
go to the Ave by myself.
Okay.
And so I would just like go to Green Acres Mall, go get my nails done, and walk around. So that changed my life. And I was like, if she could do that for me, and she didn't know me, why can't I do that for somebody else?
Dope.
I was never signed to Missy, but her cosigns and her oops that she threw me for years and still, leveled me up. I said, yo, I want to see who I know is like, yo, hungry and want it, not just out here, yeah, I'm going to put this pussy on your face. There's so much pussy being put on faces.
And I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it. I'm just like, okay, damn. Like, I heard, like, it's so, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. But when I hear her rap, I'm just like, yo, she on to something. And then Miko co-signed, but like with Dime, the way we came up with Thelma Louise was just like, she lived in the marriage boot camp house. So she saw what was going on.
Yeah.
We did that together. That was an
Right.
experience. The
Yeah.
Purge House.
The
That's what we
Purge
call
House,
it.
because you had to purge in that bitch. Like,
So
it
that
got
show
real.
really did help you.
It helped me.
It helped me too.
Okay.
It helped me
Yeah.
too.
People went to, I guess, to help with their marriages. But honestly, when the doctors put me to the side, I was like, if it's not going to help for your marriage, at least let it work for you. Like, we're real doctors. Get all this free work. You feel me?
We got
Right.
And what's crazy is that after it was over, like literally a week later, I was like, Dr. Ish, I'm not with him no more. I'm the kid. The thing, and he was just like, I knew it, and now you're gonna glow, Mo. And everybody just kept on saying you're gonna glow, and nobody never wants to tell nobody like, you need to leave that person. But it's just like, listen, if it's not beneficial or if it's not what marriage is supposed to be, not just being with each other, like
Right.
companionship, relationship, hard times, good times, like everything. A marriage is not just, I do and he get to do what he want to do and I don't get to do nothing. No.
People act like you got to be a ride or die woman, right? They act like I got to put up with whatever he does, and if I don't accept that and forgive him, then I'm not a good
one.
person. Yeah, I'm not a
You know
good
what?
wife.
I read
That's
something.
cap.
I read something the other day. Somebody posted. They said, "Ask a man what type of woman he wants," and I bet you it's a description of a slave.
Damn.
A woman that stays in the house,
Wow.
cooks, cleans, washes the kids.
You won't get
and
that
so I
over
was
here.
just like, no, this is a new age of women. We don't mind working, and we don't mind dealing with a little bullshit here and there, but when you start protecting these bitches more than you protecting me, you protecting their identity, but they're stalking me, and I'm like, yo, this bitch is drawing, and you're not doing nothing about it. Now we have a problem.
Right.
You don't never let nothing come in between your household.
Absolutely.
Ever.
I agree with you. I don't like when people say that about women though. Like if they're a domesticated woman and that's what they choose to do, if they want to.
I'm domesticated as shit.
Yeah, if
like
they
I
wanna-
bleach and cook and clean.
That don't mean they a
Domesticated
slave.
too, but at the same time, I still want to be able to go out and work and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to be confined to just cook, clean, take care of the kids. I gotta go do bookings. I gotta go do interviews. I'm at the Breakfast Club. My husband got my baby.
You hustling.
Yeah, I'm hustling. So I don't want to be confined to that. And I feel like that's something that the new age women are doing greatly.
Yeah.
Like we're juggling a lot of roles, and I feel like it should be appreciated because
And a lot of
we're being a
times-
lot of things at one time.
Because you had just had your daughter when we did
When we
marriage
did
boot camp.
marriage boot
and I was
camp.
just like,
I was so
wait,
depressed in that
That's what I'm about to
house.
say. Like that postpartum depression, I
Postpartum?
was just like, yeah.
Yes, I was depressed in the house. My baby came. They let her come one time.
Yeah.
She cried the entire
I said
time.
it was a
she would
spirit
not
in that
stop
house.
crying.
Wait, you could only see the baby one time?
Yes.
One time they let her come one time, and she cried the entire time. From the time she came in the house,
Ain't no TV,
I
no
had to let her
radio,
leave 'cause she
nothing
cried
in there,
so long.
no contact. That's why they
Really?
And Mo was like, I think you felt bad for me because I was just like, oh, my baby, like, oh, my God, did she forget who I am?
How long were y'all in the house?
Like 16 days, 14 days.
It was like was it for a month? Well,
It was 14
I know
days
we got
straight.
out
We
the-
could not leave.
Yeah. No
Couldn't
phone,
leave, couldn't do nothing.
She telling you to fix your hair,
no
Mo.
TV, no radio, no contact with the outside world. You can't leave the house.
Nothing.
Can't do nothing. So it's just like, but before we got to that house, that was another thing. We had to stay in a hotel for 2 days.
For 2
I didn't know
days.
what hotel we was in. You don't know who named the room. You don't get no room key. And you could be sitting in
Nothing.
there and then they'll just come, hey, we need you to come out.
And
So-
I'm like, hold on, who else finna be on this show with me? Because I
Yeah.
don't know, I might have to, I might be
Because they
somebody
put
I
you-
don't
it's
like.
almost
Dog walker hoe.
Yeah, on site. First day filming, you hear me?
Hello? And you don't know. And they just like, well, we don't want you to leave out your room because we don't want you to know who else is here. But like, man, fuck all that. Like, I'm going crazy here. But I had to sneak in the bathroom one time and call because that's the first time he's acting like he was going to spit on me.
Oh,
in that room.
no.
So at first I was like, why did I even go do this shit? I was like, no, I'm push through. So on our ride, when they came to get us before we got in the Lambo, whatever they had for us, when we was on the ride there, he gonna tell the girl, talk about something. Oh, don't mind us. This how we communicate.
Oh,
I said, bitch, no, it's not.
See?
Like they used to always have to come in our room. I was just like,
Yeah,
yo,
and they-
like,
That used to bother me because when we first came in the house, I was looking at it like, oh my God,
Remember
I'm
we
in
was
the
like,
house
this
with
is-
little Mo. Then my husband was like, okay.
This about
He's
to
not
be
a
like-
female, so he don't understand the what her music did for me growing up. I listened to you growing up. I listened to Superwoman. I listened to all this, so it like got me hyped. I was like, I'm in the house with little Mo. I'm finna be lit. And they was like, Walker in the house, Tammy in the house. I was like, oh yeah, this finna be lit.
then when
But
Soldier walked in and said, what the fuck going on,
I said, oh,
man?
Lord.
We said, this house about to be turned.
Yes, but when I seen I was in the house with you, I was just like, this is amazing. I'm in here with a legend, somebody I can really get to know and learn from and learn some stuff from. And just to see you going through what you were going through in the house with him, it made me mad. I was just
Remember, you was like, and I was like, well, we should say something. But I was so scared to say something. I was like, well, we can't go nowhere. But they
Right.
wanted you to say stuff so they can try to fix it. And they was like, you can try to hide all you want. Like, you literally walk past
There's
the room.
cameras everywhere.
Cameras everywhere. This could be a camera. You sitting up here, yeah, because this motherfucker. And they got you on camera or tape. And then you walk past, remember all them TVs, and you're like, these motherfuckers really just watching us.
Yes.
And they had saw stuff numerous times, but they was like, Mo, we think, is there anything you want to work on your marriage? I was like, nah, it's cool. I just want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence and I'm being loyal. It's just like, because we've seen some things.
Loyal
that we
to
monitor.
what, though?
And they,
Right.
You right.
Like, what are you being loyal to?
You right.
They could have
The
been.
idea,
Were they,
But the crazy
idea
thing
of
might have been
marriage?
like, you
that
shouldn't
goes
be
to
with
show
him.
you could.
That's
yeah.
what they
You being
kinda
loyal
was
to the
trying
idea
tell
of
you.
marriage.
But they didn't want to say it. Like they was kind of trying
remember
to
they
tell
had us,
you
they was
that.
like, yo, how the fuck is you in the middle of nowhere? You in the middle of nowhere. Like, that is the middle of nowhere. If you even try to leave out the house, ain't no street lights. Bitch, you gonna get ate up by a coyote.
Yeah, it's nothing.
You feel
there.
me?
Like nothing.
Like bears, tigers, all that shit out there. I'm like, how you in the middle of nowhere? You face like, yo, you love me. Bitch, your wife upstairs. He was supposed to be going to make me some cereal. So the same bitch, he beat her up too.
Beat who
Bitch,
up?
The girl that was on FaceTime.
So if you don't know, on the show, he went downstairs. They don't. If people don't know,
He was supposed to be making me a bowl of cereal.
Right.
What kind?
Cookie Crisp.
and that takes about 1 minute.
Ain't that like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Cookie
that
Crisp
took
or eat
about
all
30
them.
seconds to make some cookie crisp.
yeah, it's very short.
And he
So
went
he-
downstairs.
And then he calls on
Got on
FaceTime
FaceTime.
in the kitchen. I was like, this. He
On the
wanted to get
show.
caught though,
I couldn't
because
believe
everybody knew
it.
that
Yes,
camera
come
was
on
there. And
now.
everybody knew that behind that door was where they kept the Wi-Fi.
I don't think he wanted to get caught. I think he just didn't know how serious it was and how much they're
He must've
watching.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to get caught. I think he really thought he was sneaking. I
But
think
they
he really
said they saw
thought
him
it.
a couple of times. They was like, we've
He thought
noticed.
he was sneaking at night. He thought all the cameramen was asleep. He thought
Now that I
all of that,
think of it,
and he got
He
caught.
was on FaceTime and he called a girl. He was like, yo, tell me you love
Tell me you love me.
And she was like, is anybody around? Nah, tell me you love me. She was like, I love you. He was like, all right. And then hung up. Then came upstairs with my cereal. So I was like, me not knowing what's going on. So when I had to watch it that week, like I was just like, I know who that is.
And you said he beat her up.
Yeah, on October 1st he just got home from jail. On October 1st, like he robbed her at gunpoint, took her car, punched in the ribs, smacked in the face. Like, so he was locked up for like October 1st through the 17th. They just withdrew the case because in Pennsylvania you have to go to court 3 times before they'll give you a temporary PFA. So she didn't tell, but I got the police report. So that abuse
Good
thing,
Lord.
because when they pulled up his name, they thought that was about me. And I was like, no, that's not me, because her name starts with an M and they automatically. So I was like, no, I'm Cynthia.
Yeah.
And actually, I would be considered the wife. So I was like, that's his girlfriend. I went to court. I was like, how'd that work, Your Honor? I wanted to know because I'm trying to figure out, like, well, then why can't I have no boyfriend?
Now,
That whole time I ain't never cheated. That's why I'm pissed, for real.
Stop
I ain't
it.
never cheated.
Yeah,
let's talk about setting it off now. Let's-
How do we break these generational curses though?
about
But that
what?
don't run in my
What
family,
part?
so
But not even just with you, with him. Like
they ain't got nothing to do with me no
but
more.
that's the father of your children.
And he has
My
to
kid
want
don't-
to get help.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
he
Like,
got
how do
work
we
to
get
do.
that
He has
brother
to
some
want to.
help?
He can't
I don't know, I ain't got
you
nothing to do
know
with that.
what?
Sorry
Even
to
with
that
him,
man.
even
No shade.
even in the house, it was weird because we used to have our little things where we have to all sit there, and I just look at him, and he'll just be like
Nodding off.
going down like this, and my husband will look at me like he'll be like,
And I'll be like, you are nodding off. He told me
I
I was
was
the
like, something
naproxen.
ain't right
And the doctor
here,
said,
you know?
no, naproxen doesn't make you nod off. That is either narcotic or opioid. And I said, Doc, I'm going to just let you know, yes, I've snuck perks up here.
So y'all was on perks. Y'all was both.
What? How you going to survive in a house without a perk? And you
well,
know how
I
much
didn't
weed
have
we
a
smoke?
perk, but
Well, I did.
I
You
had
still smoke
weed
weed or no?
though.
You don't do anything anymore.
No, I smoke weed.
You still smoke
Yeah.
I have to for my anxiety.
So did y'all decide in the
smoke it.
house to do the project together, or did it happen after?
We was gonna do something that, but we ain't had. They had a fake studio, and then we was like, "Oh shit, we about to be recording and have a laptop
Lies.
Soldier Boy." We was like, "You gonna do the track?" And they ain't have nothing there, no speaker, none of this shit had a
That's
cord.
lying.
So we was just like, "We gonna work," but Dom is a person. She was like, "Don't say we gonna work, and then we
don't-
not gonna work."
Cause I'ma come. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find you.
And
Don't lie
so-
to me.
and
I want to
then-
know.
Remember, because we was just gonna do we was gonna do a song.
Because I remember you first seen me and you was like, you should have been on that song. It was I think it was a Drake song or something. You was like, that would have
thought that
been
would've
lit
been
if you
lit.
would have been on that song. And I was like, oh, thank you. You know, I didn't even know she really knew anything about me
Because
or
I didn't
my
want
music.
people to think that, oh, she just from reality TV.
Right.
I didn't want people to think that, oh, now Mo's a reality star. No, I'm the Superwoman. I've been doing this. I've been singing since I was 4.
Right. And I was doing my
Professionally.
music and rapping way
So it
before
was just
I got
like,
on
let's
Love and
put some
Hip-Hop.
music out. I was like, instead of like just, shit, it's fur all in my eye.
You gotta commit to it.
Picking
You,
away your
gotta-
eyelashes or your fur.
Take it out.
you might not be
take
able to be
that
loyal
from
to
me.
first.
I think it's the lashes.
Them lashes
I think that's the
on,
lashes
too.
right there.
I'm like,
bro.
God damn, something is in my
That's the
eye.
lashes. That's the lashes.
Let's talk,
Lashes
let's talk about
on.
Set It Off
Pretty
Live.
as
What's
pink.
Set It Off Live?
Well, the tour starts. We did the DC shows, and so Set It Off Live. The tour starts February 14th in Houston, and it goes through June. So I play Frankie, which was Vivica Fox's part, and like I think we're coming to New York, so y'all gotta come see. Y'all gonna
I
be
know,
like,
I've been wanting
I'd
to
love
see
to check
that.
that out.
Gotta see
you
it.
was in your bag, because I even told 50 when we did the power premiere, I'm like, well, I need you to put me on so many things. Like, I got it in me. I got it in me. And so it's just like, all right, then let me see you put in some work. Like, nobody's going to just put you in position if you
Right.
haven't shown that
Right.
if you haven't got the approval. Yeah, I'll rock with you. Yeah, I know you could sing. But when you step into this arena, you got to be ready, because these are motherfucking thespians.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, they do this.
Yeah.
If you can't do this, then don't say. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to start right here. And the rave reviews, I was like, dang, that's lit.
That's dope.
Yeah.
God
Now,
is
Don,
good.
for you, they said you were supposed to be getting your own show.
Yeah, supposed to be
After
getting
Love and
my-
Hip Hop, is that happening?
I mean, I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like at this point in time, I don't want to do anything that's going to be at the expense of my family. I want to make sure it's the right situation and we can really live out the right things, like black love, really what we going through. I don't want it to all be goody-goody, because we go through things too. But I'm just looking for it has to be the right situation. I've been presented some things, and you know, people come to me about my own show, but I just want to make sure it's the right fit.
Because they thought you were going to be front and center back on the new season.
Yeah, they did, but it's kind of like I don't want to go to jail, and I just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go to jail, and I just had a baby. They, you know, it's just like not a good position, and I feel like I never really felt like they really gave me my on this show. You know what I'm saying? Like
a lot of those shows have their favorites.
Yeah,
too.
it's their favorites.
Like it's just like, come on, man.
I had
you
to
know
have
I
a baby. Like I had to literally. I was like, okay, I'm not a main cast member, but I've been coming in, kind of putting in work, getting my name out there. People kind of know who I am. I'm breaking, you know, barriers or whatever. And I never got made a main cast member until I had the baby. And before then, they didn't even want to make me a main cast member.
I thought you were saying that you got nutted in to you have a storyline.
Good
That's what I thought.
Wait a minute.
Is that what you heard?
Is that what you heard?
I did.
Because listen, that's the last thing I need to do to have a storyline. I'd rather quit if that's what I got to do. You know what I'm saying?
But there's some people
they
who
try to get me to date dudes and everything for a storyline that I would not do. So we ain't gonna.
But some people, one thing I won't do anymore either, and my dad always taught me that too. As much as I've like done something, I'm like, damn, I should have did that. It gets to a point where your integrity has to stand for something. Like there be something I be like, nah, I ain't doing it. Like they be like, we want you to expose. No, I ain't being a part of that because it'll backfire. Then you got me looking crazy, but y'all still got your job, and then niggas try to run up on me. Like I'm a girl.
Right.
Like stop it.
Right.
But it got to a point where I was just like, my integrity should no longer be in question. Neither should like anything I did.
I feel like my talent was in question. Everything I did from when I got on
But now everybody
Love It,
trying to do everything
stuff with me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when I got on there, I came on there with the pink hair and the outfits. I came straight from Miami. I was in Miami 7 years, you know, doing music. I was signed to Flow Rider. I wasn't just coming from a strip club coming on TV. I was signed to an artist. So I feel like they downplayed all that to make me look like a stripper coming into the rap game. And then they had Jermaine Dupri talking about stripper fight music when everybody's doing stripper fight music now, 3 years later. Yeah. So I feel like they tried to downplay it and make me look like a fool. So I wanted to rebirth myself to what I really am, who I am. You know what I'm saying? They can't put this, they can't make nobody me.
So tell us about this Thelma and Louise project now. Tell us about this project.
Well, we got a song. Matter of fact, I said
we gonna play it now. We got it.
I said the clean
Thelma
one.
and Louise was
Envy said it's not mixed and mastered though.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, you freaking
It's
liar.
me.
I'm
I'm about to say, well, let me check my email. My engineer did all that.
What?
You tried it.
He made me think like, did I say that?
I was like, no, I said the clean. I made sure they redid it.
I was like, Mo, we're not playing. We're not finna do this.
No, but
not
we
today.
did. We actually doing some. This is a different approach for me.
And me.
So I'm Thelma, and that would be Louise. I'm Thelma be turned. That's Louise be lit. Because we, at the end of the day, it was just like, my personality is always big, and I don't know why people think like that I'm really a robber or like this, but no, I'm just like, no, I really sing. But the approach we're taking is more, I call it pop culture, the power of pussy culture. Like we're telling these niggas, like a lot of these women, I feel that they're it's the word? It's almost like it's silent prostitution. Okay. It's just like y'all selling this much pussy, but you don't have nowhere to sleep at night, sis?
Right. Man. Well, Miss Deb told me, Walker Mama, she told me she feel like when you marry, you even selling pussy.
Man.
You're still, it to a certain extent, because, you know, you got to give your husband some coochie and you're going to get taken care of. It's still however you look at it.
Although some women are the heads of their households too, kind of, and contribute just as much. So it ain't like.
Yeah, but you still
like
giving
you wasn't,
pussy
because
up.
you didn't feel like that in your relationship, Mo.
You still
like,
giving pussy up though, Angela.
But that's
even if
not,
you're the head of the household.
Yeah.
But then he a prostitute too, because he giving up.
Somebody a prostitute.
Well, those are called gigolos.
Those are gigolos.
Yeah, or male thoughts.
Can we hear something? Can we hear something from y'all right now?
I would love to.
We got to drop a
hear
load
something
of.
like what?
Let them spit. Let them sing a little bit.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna play a record.
I thought you was about to play
play a record too. Don't play with
Make
me.
an executive decision, Mo.
No, because we got a lot of songs. We got Money Over Bitches. It was like, because I read.
Swear to God.
We got Swear to God.
What you want to hear right now, Mo?
Play Drop It Low.
Play drop it low.
Drop it low.
Yeah, put that pussy on him as like a man with a cat on his lap.
You just said there's too much pussy being put
No,
on
I
faces.
said people are selling it.
Okay.
Now we're gonna show you how to reinvent it.
So this is like proper pussy management.
Yes.
Proper pussy
Because
management.
I would be the
Got
first to
you.
say that I mismanaged mine. Like, look who my baby fathers are. All these motherfucking athletes, entrepreneurs, and execs I was around. I got babies by and married niggas
Don't
that
do that,
sweet.
Mo.
Like, I'm mad at my vagina.
Scream at it.
Fuck wrong
What
with you,
scream at?
bitch? Sometimes you gotta scream. No, I did the vagina monologue, so you gotta yell at that thing. Bitch, what is wrong with you?
So what's okay?
Somebody from the hood, bitch. What's wrong with you?
You gotta get it back.
Drop it low. Put that pussy on them. Thelma Louise, Louisville, Jessica
God.
Dime. Let's go.
Let's
the
get it.
Club. Bitch, you know what the fuck going on.
You know what's going on, bitch.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.